Hello everybody, and here is a clip from earlier, and then we'll get into some stuff we done recently.
How are we doing?
Um, what's happening with my build right now is I'm looking at the percentage. I'm up to 77%, and I only have one wall in the roof and the floor. And I thought I better put this in. This is what I was talking about before over at the water park. I've got 2 changing rooms, and I'm using bamboo, kind of give it that, kind of cabana type thing, awesome. But that's what I was working on here, trying to get this in, and then I was going to go and finish up on the factory. I've already got part of the wall started. And it's one of those things, instead of going in and scooping them up, I'm going block by block and kind of keeping one eye on that percentage. And when I get to the point of getting it finally closed in and looking halfway decent, I'm up at 82%. But I got most of the major things in place, so it's just a matter of I want to do the fence lines. Because my buddy, he mentioned that a while back about putting in fences and stuff like that. He's right, so I want to do on the inside of the factory where you can see all the pathways and stuff like that. I want to fence those in, kind of make it look industrial type fencing, with safety standards and stuff like that in place. Keep people from going into certain areas they're not supposed to be in, so we'll fence it off. We have the forklifts running over there. I want to put some more of my characters in the park. I want to bring in the truck, and I got the little one in the back, and I have a few of the other people and the characters in there, so I want to stockpile more. I can do all the vegetation and stuff I can do out here. I like that. That's a surf, kind of like, looks like a surfboard type thing. Well, there's a big wave pool right over there. So, and like I said, I'm going to do more with this. Like I said, right now I just at the point that scenery. Putting in the benches and stuff like that for people to sit, or guests to sit. I have food there. There's a hot dog, pizza, and drinks. Now I can build I can open, using a counter and stuff like that. I haven't built one of those yet, so I might have to look into doing something similar to that. I do have the arcade over in the factory. But I thought about putting one over here, but I think that put my percentage up too high. So I might just maybe make an area where the 2 swimming pools are. I think there's a spot there on there where I could put in some of the machines or some of the arcade machines, and kind of a little arcade little space right there inside the building, without actually putting a full-fledged arcade in like I did inside the factory, which it'd be kind of cool. I mean, there's a big spot right there where it fit, and so I don't know. Let's see, because I want to do a lot of foliage in there. I was trying to think of a water feature I could put through there. There's a thing with the pool where I could make like a river trough, but I can't put in another ride because that'd suck up the percentage. So it's all mostly scenery what I got left. And I have plenty of rides. I have a ride there. I got another ride in the back, the paint booth. Then there's turning a few heads. We got the forklift races, Forklifts-R-Us. I need to make a sign for that, don't I? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And the idea that is I was a forklift operator at one point. I loved it. That's the funnest part about was working on a forklift. But you have to be careful with the darn thing, so you can really do something damage. Which I know myself. I had my own incident because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and it just happened that it didn't cause a lot of problems, but it could have. Let's put it that way. And so I like the idea of forklift races because I know that those on the docks from time to time, when there's not much going on, we'll grab a forklift or two and they'll race around them. And that's when stuff gets damaged sometimes because they kind of misjudge a corner or something like that. But then again, I imagine there are competitions out there that so forklift operators can prove how good they are. And you got stuff like being able to pick up something with the forks, was one thing. Maybe like lighting a lighter, with the fork of the forklift. That operator that can do that's got to find handy touch on controls, but so that's why I have that forklift thing there. Plus, I wanted to build something on the go-karts, because the go-karts they're not on a track per se that like the buses there. They don't have to follow the track. They can go anywhere they want on the track. The guests are the ones that are operating the go-kart, and the forklift is kind of an animated that is connected to the go-kart, which gives it the impression that the go-kart's being pushed by the forklift. That's the impression. That's kind of like that line I built in the back gave the impression that the blanks are going on one side, the finished characters coming out the other side, and you got a whole loading dock full of the product ready to go out again to be sent to the customers. That's why I want to bring in a couple trucks. I'm thinking maybe try to make a flatbed. Now that I know how to put these vehicles, the flatbed and that don't have to move. It can be backed up to the dock and just have like it's been loaded. And that's where the forklift with we could have it up to the dock, and that one forklift could go onto the flatbed and back, so it's kind of give that impression of is it being loaded or is it being unloaded? So, but it's fun. I enjoy building it, and it's just so much. That's just like I tried to copy that back wall. I brought it in. That shot my percentage way up to 92%, and a lot of that is because of all the lights I have on the back wall. I wanted to turn it around so that those lights would have been on the inside as well, but that was a lot because I copied it to bring it to the front here, so kind of make it this side, the front wall, along its back wall. But then I realized I had to go through and kind of hand build these walls because I had to leave doorways, openings for the buses and stuff to go through, so that they're not just passing through the. See right there, I had to create an archway so that the guests would not just pass through the wall. I did it. This is where I'm building this. This is where I'm kind of outlining the whole factory. That took a while. Alright, this is a script clip. My friend's been a great inspiration. Thank you. This is one clip. No transitions needed. Music, script clip, cut, print, and post. Put it in the camera on the shelf. Immediately studio and sound feel that old grid, Squint and Jazz. Thank you for watching, thank you for following, and thank you for liking. And there we go. Let's slide this down, and we can put this one in the can. Towards the end of this clip, Mr. Editor asked for some music. Okay, we'll do that right now. Hey, hooray, a little extra bonus here. I'm getting closer to actually opening up the park. I'm at 82% now with the factory enclosed. So that leaves me a little bit to put in for scenery. I did put in the changing rooms and a little food court area over by the water park. So I do have those in there. I made them look like they're bamboo, like little bamboo huts type thing. So going with that kind of water theme kind of park. So that has been put in there, and we're still at 82%. So now I got a lot of scenery I can play with a little bit. I want to, next step is outline all these pathways with fencing, kind of make it look like industrial type fence that you see in, maybe you'd see in a factory to keep maybe forklifts or stuff from running into them, or stuff to keep people out of certain areas that they're not supposed to be in, because that's disqualified person. No, but it would add to the look, and that's the main thing. So I can put in a couple of staff facilities. I don't have those in there yet, but I have food, there's information, there's, I think, just hats. You can buy a hat there. I think I got it all down to just one ball cap. So when you start seeing that ball cap, you know that's where you're going to get it from. So, and then, like I said, we have a few rides. We have the hats off. That's my favorite ride in reality, real world. That's one of the first rides I went on that I wasn't scared. I was shaking up my boots the whole time in the line waiting to get on it that first time. I didn't know what was going to happen. But man, I had to get on there because I didn't want everyone to think I was chicken. It actually didn't turn out too bad. I kind of liked it. I enjoyed the ride, and that way I got one big adult ride I could go on, and so I wouldn't look like a big chicken and out. Until that one day when I had to get on a roller coaster. Talk about being frightened throughout the whole line waiting to get on the first time. And then you hear that clickety click as it's gradually being pulled up to the top, and then gravity takes back down. It ended up being fun as heck. I went back on it, but like I said, the first time standing there in line, like I said, you're with friends, so you don't want to act like you're chicken. So you go ahead and go along with everybody, and you know it. Hey, this isn't half bad. So that's kind of why I like that ride. It takes me back to when I was a youngster, and I can remember sitting in that car as it was swirled around, and it was fun. And like I said, when I first saw it, I was like, uh-oh. See, I went in and I cleared out all the tiles for the pool, so now there's actually water that's going into. I created a loading dock. There's all kinds on the back. Strip flip. Every transitions are good. We need music though, and everything else is good. Good job. Bring that pose, put it in the game on the show from Neely Studios on Phil at Old Grizz Money Jazz. Money Jazz Phil and Old Grizz. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. And thank you for liking. Oh, that's good enough for right now.